welcome to another episode of the A-List Music Club. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Truth. And of course, with me as always are Dominic and John. How's it going tonight, guys?
Oh,
Good.
All right. And it always seems like Dominic has a gun to his head. um, so this is the show where each week one of us picks a different song, a different CD, album, playlist, whatever. And this week it was my turn. Since we're getting towards the summer, I thought it would be interesting if we listened to a Beach Boys album. And this is something that's on like all the big websites say it's one of the greatest albums of all time. So I thought, let's give our input, shall we? So this is the Beach Boys' Pet Sound. So I don't know. What did you guys think? Do you think this is one of the greatest albums of all time?
well, I'll tell you what, it's on a lot of critics' best albums of all time. And I'll preface this by saying I've never been a very big Beach Boys fan. I think most of their songs are very similar. I'm just not a big fan of them. Other than wouldn't it be nice and God only knows, I think this album blew.
Wow.
I mean, it was boring. It was I'm sorry, I just don't get it. And I'm not dissing anybody that loves this album because
Right.
I mean it just wasn't for me. I mean, I can think of so many other albums that I would rate ahead of this. I'd rate the Dixie Chicks above this. No, I'm only, but
They're
Baby
just the chicks now, by the way. They're just the chicks now. No more
Right.
dicks.
Yeah, Dixie Chicks is racist.
yeah.
And we'll end it there before we get any comments.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Two great songs, and the rest are pigeon droppings.
You didn't like Sloop John B? That was one of their hits.
Not on this album, it wasn't on.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's right
yeah.
before God Only Knows.
I forgot that. No, I'm not a big fan of that song.
I'm a very, very casual Beach Boys fan. I have a couple of greatest hits. I know the songs they play on the radio. I've seen him at concert with John Stamos. He played guitars and drums. Yeah, sang backup vocals.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best part. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna watch John Stamos. He's cool.
All right, Stamos.
So this is the first time I ever heard a complete album.
Mm-hmm.
And I much like you guys, I have a million music books that list this as one of the greatest of all time. I honestly forgot. I listened to this literally like today. Like I forgot. I'm like, oh shit, I've listened to the album West picked. Vacation threw me off. So I was like, let's do it on the way to work. I heard a couple of songs on the way home. On my lunch break, I'm like, so yeah, Wouldn't It Be Nice is great. That's a classic. God Only Knows made me think of JJ, like what it'd be like if I didn't have him, and it was sad. I don't mind Sloop John B. Caroline No is okay. But it's a sad album. Like, if you just broke up with someone, this is your album.
Man, and
I like that it's their adult pop. Like, no more surfing, no more girls, no more cars, none of that teenage stuff. It's more adult, mature. But oh my gosh, 10 songs about how she doesn't love you anymore. And, whew, it's a downer. But let's do it with earbuds. There's a lot going on musically. in the background that you don't really hear on the radio. He's do
Right.
everything with the kitchen sink at this thing. Brian Wilson is a genius, but yeah, I mean the two instrumentals you can throw out. I don't even remember how Here Today goes. But yeah, I
Here
listened to this
today, going
earlier
tomorrow.
today. I mean, yeah, it's a lot. I mean, You Still Believe in Me. I'm Waiting for the Day. Like they're all the same theme. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not terrible. I don't know that it's the greatest. It might be slightly overrated.
Oh, I definitely agree.
Yeah. I like what he was going for. I think he had the right idea. I just don't know that he put it all together.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, I didn't know to turn it off halfway through or anything. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah. I agree with that. I discovered the Beach Boys at a young age. On Nickelodeon, they used to have a music video with the Muppets doing Kokomo. And that's how I discovered them. They played a lot of their music at Hershey Park at the water ride area. So I got to know them through that. And also at Epcot, they used to have a show called Food Rocks where they had the Peach Boys sing a song called Good Nutrition instead of Good Vibration. Much like you guys, I'm a casual fan. I really like their hit. But this is the first time that I'm listening to an whole album like you, John. It's definitely a deeper album that's not their usual fare. There's a lot of slower songs on this album. And like you said, it's a downer. So I was reading some of the comments in the comment section when I was listening to this, and they're like, this is not a love it at first album for everyone. It's gonna make you listen multiple times to it. And I'm like, I don't think so.
I listened to this a bunch of times. I'd probably jump out a window or something.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of interesting instrumental songs. Let's Go Away for a While, Pet Sounds, but like you said, you could have totally left those off. Wouldn't It Be Nice? I love this song. One of my favorite Beach Boys songs. I think that was a great way to kick off the album. And God Only Knows, I think, is a fantastic song. Not fast, fantastic song. One of my favorites as well from them. Sloop John B. I liked. I was familiar with that one. And I'm waiting for the day I have that I liked. But, I write down all the songs on the album and then I put notes next to them. And I found myself writing the same thing for every song in between those. Okay. I was just like, that's all I could say about it. They were like in one ear and out the other. And I was like, I can't tell you what the other songs were called, any of them that were on the rest of the album, other than those ones I just mentioned.
I think maybe the album hasn't aged well.
And that's very, very possible.
At the time, in 1966, this was groundbreaking shit, man.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what, I just don't think it's aged well. Now, there's other albums that, have aged much better. I mean, like Sgt. Pepper or some of the Doors albums or some of Hendrix's albums and the Stones and, the Who and stuff like that. I think they've aged better than this.
Yeah. Oh, I know this has its fans because I still see people talking about it. But
oh yeah,
it's their masterpiece.
Yeah, it's just I didn't really get that out of this.
I get, like I said at the time, all their albums were like the hit singles and a bunch of filler, all about surfing girls and cars. This was the first to be listened to as a whole album, no filler. Sort of had a theme, but it wasn't a concept album.
Mm-hmm.
More of a mature album. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't It Be Nice is great, and then it's all downhill from there. They could have used a little more to break it up, just a little upbeat song or two.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, and not just
Good
those
Vibration.
instrumental random ones.
Good Vibrations came out after this album, but it was in these sessions.
I didn't realize that.
They left it off this album and released it as its own standalone single.
Oh
Why not
wow.
put that in here? Break up the
Yeah.
sadness, what we would call it.
I thought that was like one of their first hits, honestly. Good Vibrations.
No,
Oh God, no.
no, Serpent
That shows
Safari.
you how casual of a fan I am.
All those Serpent songs at the beginning, that's their early stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little deuce.
I didn't hate it, but like as soon as the song was over, I already forgot it.
Oh, totally. Yeah, they
Yeah,
could have
but
put it the same song on next, and I would have go, oh, this is a different song. It was like I had amnesia.
The same subject matter, the same lack of a beat, the same
Mhm.
like yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't like you. I don't hate it, but at
No.
the same time, this is not a listen to all the time album.
And those
No,
songs I like are on their
if
greatest hits. So
If I saw this album at a store or something, or a garage sale or something like that, and it was at a decent price, say $10 or under, I would buy it just so I had this album.
Oh wow.
for what it
But-
is, yeah.
Yeah.
You know. All right, John, you got trivia?
No, oh God, we'd be here all night. There's pages and pages and pages of stuff about this album. So,
Okay,
Obvious.
just pick out a few good nuggets.
it cost $70,000 to make, which back then was a whole lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's equivalent to $560,000 in today's money. So, this came out in May, and Good Vibrations came out in October. It was a bigger hit than anything off this album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on a lot of lists for greatest of all time. Consists of introspective songs. If that's what you want to call it. I know there's an answer is about LSD users.
Jeez.
I just wasn't made for these times. It's about Brian Wilson, like stuff that's going on in the music world isn't for me. I'm doing this kind of stuff.
That's something like my grandma always says. That's what it reminded me of. My grandma complaining about today's world.
Caroline No was the first single credited to Brian Wilson solo. And Sloop John Bean, Wouldn't It Be Nice, were the next two singles. God Only Knows was the B-side to Wouldn't It Be Nice. But still
Well,
charting.
That would be all I'd need.
Yeah, by that 45, you're good.
Yeah. Those would be the two I'd throw on my iPod. I think I already have both of them on there, so I'm already set.
Yeah. Yeah, I have it on a greatest hits, so I
Yeah.
never have a reason to listen to this album again. The front cover is the 5 of them at the San Diego Zoo feeding goats. The original name of the album was Our Freaky Friends. And the goats are going to be their freaky friends. One of the members of the band thought that pet sounds meant pet, like petting, like making out petting. That's an
Okay.
old term. Dom probably knows that term. That's an old term.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he thought it meant. Pet sounds was like music to listen to while you're making out.
Pillow talk.
They were banned from the zoo because they mistreated the goats.
Oh God.
Dicks.
But the Beach Boys said that it's not, the goats were terrible. The goats were eating their clothes and biting them. So they weren't bad to the goats. They were just like, get away from me, pushing them away, not abusively.
Goats can be rough.
There's a lot of shit. There was a debate over who actually thought of that album. One of the band members called the worst cover in the history of music. I don't know if it's that bad. It didn't do well commercially or critics back then.
Oh wow, yeah.
Well,
I figured
Brian Wilson-
fans were probably like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Brian Wilson had a bit of a mental breakdown because he thought that it not selling was a rejection of his artistry. And even when fans would come up to him later and say, "Oh, I love that album, it's brilliant," he took it. Even talking about it made him feel terrible. It reminded him of his failure.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. I like the Beach Boys. I'm not a huge fan, but they're okay.
Yeah.
Let's rate this pig.
Soon to be on a t-shirt.
Oh boy.
I'll go first.
Shouldn't it be let's rate these goats?
I'm adjusting my number right now.
You said it's pigeon dropping.
I believe those were the words he used. Yes.
Just on the merits of God Only Knows and Wouldn't It Be Nice, and the fact that I think this album was a little bit ahead of their time.
Yeah.
I'll go with a 6.
That's about what I was thinking too. Yeah. It's not terrible, but it's not a 10, not for me.
No.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking 6 too, yeah.
All right, Wesley, give
the
it
number of the beast, 666. Yeah, I agree with you guys. It's not something that I would go back and listen to. It's just
no, I'll probably never listen to it again.
Now, just throw those 2 songs on for me. That's fine.
Yep.
Just for those 2, it's a 6.
Yep.
All right. So this time it's John's turn to pick. What easy listening do you have for us this time?
I picked a band I think we all like.
Okay.
They're coming around where I live. They're coming to Hershey in July.
Oh, I bet they're coming right here too.
And I'm thinking about going to see them. Depends upon prices. So it made me think of this band, and I thought I'm going to pick an album that's the most controversial in their catalog. And now that's been whatever it is, 15 years there. Let's see what we think of it. And I'm picking Guns N' Roses, Chinese Democracy.
Awesome.
Everyone hates this thing. You go online. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I thought it was. I like it. It's got one of my favorite Guns N' Roses songs on it. The one after Shackler's Revenge. I don't remember the name of it.
Better?
I don't know. I'd have to listen to it.
Well, you will.
Yeah.
All right. So that'll do it for this week. We'll be back with our thoughts on Guns N' Roses. But until then, John, you want to talk a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah, We Like Wrestling podcast. 4 guys sitting around talking about wrestling, past, present, classic pay-per-view reviews, tournaments, anything going on in wrestling. We talk about it. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes, wherever you find podcasts. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We Like Wrestling podcast.
All right. And of course, for me, you can subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/westside515. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/WestTruePaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and Instagram @WestAlist. Until next time, truth out.